Hello there, I'm Alex Maselli, and I am trying to recover from a very long flight from Newark to Ireland, late, the usual travel things which you don't really care about. Get into Dublin, drive down to Lahinch, where the weather is just beautiful. You know, I've thought about this a lot. Scotland and Ireland, they must have done something to really tick off Mother Nature, because the weather here is unpredictable all the time. Rains in the morning, sun in the afternoon, sun in the morning, rain in the afternoon. It's crazy, it's crazy. But the best part about coming into Ireland or Scotland, actually, is this right here. Wine gums. Wine gums, that's right. And it is okay for children to have these as well, because there's no wine involved. They're just terrific. So if you're making the trip over, wine gums are what you got to do. Okay, let's get past the wine gums and the traveling and everything else. Let's just talk about what happened last week. And, you know, I don't know how you could have a 6-shot win from some guy that you never even heard of, but you did. And you're thinking, well, yeah, PGA Tour, yeah, absolutely, Nate Lashley, not a problem. No, not Nate Lashley. How about on the European Tour? Now, I have to pull a little paper. I'm trying to understand how to pronounce this guy's name, and I went up to the European Tour people and said, hey, how do you pronounce Christian's last name? And I get Bizderhout. Yes, Bizderhout, which is South African. And kid's got an unbelievable story. You think Nate Lashley from last week's got an unbelievable story about the fact that his mother and his father and his girlfriend were died in a plane crash, took some time off from golf eventually, was in the real estate, came back with a fervor, and then obviously won. That's a great story at the Rocket Mortgage that they did all week there. But the story about Christian, and I'm just going with Christian now, I can't go past that, I'm just going with Christian. The story about Christian, 25-year-old kid, when he's 2.5 years old, he's playing out with other kids, he sees this Coke bottle with Coke in it, he drinks it, and it's got rat poisoning in it, not Coca-Cola. Rat poisoning. Immediately goes to the hospital, has his stomach pumped, he's got nerve damage. Now all of a sudden he stutters. He stutters, right? So he's 4 years old, he's stuttering, he's got anxiety, he's got a lot of things that kids shouldn't have to even be dealing with at his age, but he is. Fast forward, he's playing good golf. He's a really good golfer. So now all of a sudden he has to, like, every time he wins, he explains this, every time he wins, he has to give a speech. Well, he's a stutterer. It's a really hard thing for him to do. So the kid's like, he's crazy, right? So what does he do? He takes beta blockers to try to deal with the stuttering problem. Okay, not a big deal. Beta blockers, doctor prescribed, no big issue. Playing in the British Amateur at Royal Portrush, what a coincidence. Gets drug tested. Has right on his form he's taking beta blockers. RNA says, guess what? You're dinged for 2 years. 2 years as an amateur. Unfortunately for him, because he was so good, he could not play in the Eisenhower Trophy for his country, and he found out about it 2 days before the Eisenhower Trophy. I talked to Ernie Els, who actually has been working with this kid for a long time in his foundation down in South Africa, and he says, I was very disappointed about how the RNA handled the situation. But at the same time, Ernie said, look, I've known about this kid for the longest time. I felt sometime about end of last year that he had a good chance to win. He did. He won last week. And won by 6. He wins by 6. Lashley wins by 6. Oh, and guess what? Some old guy. Stricker. Steve Stricker won by 6. I saw Mike Davis, the CEO of the USGA, in the airport on my way over here. He was going somewhere else, and we were in Newark together, and he said, I was just there, and I'm going here, meaning he was at Notre Dame, South Bend, for the Senior Open. And I said, what a great golf course. He goes, it was tremendous. He had no idea. He said, when somebody came to me and said, hey, let's have the tournament at South Bend at Notre Dame, he's like, what are you talking about? Guess what? I think the USGA is going back there for something else. Maybe the Senior Open, but it could be something else. A Women's Open, could be anything. They've just found a golf course in the Midwest. Terrific thing, terrific thing. Well, you know what? I'm spent. I really am. I could talk about so many things this week, but I am really tired. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to get up early in the morning. I'm going to take my little camera with me, and we're going to wander around this golf course, which is a gem if you've never been here. Put together a little montage for you from video. I'm going to send it up for you on Wednesday, so be prepared for that. I'm Alex Maselli. This is my one take. I'm taking my wine gums and I'm going to bed.